You look in the mirror every day, but you are not really seeing yourself. You are seeing who you decided you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe even longer. And you have been living as that person ever since. Not because it is who you are now, but because you never questioned whether it was still true. What if the person staring back at you is not you anymore? What if you have been carrying an identity that no longer fits? There was a man named James who was 37 years old. He worked in the same office for 12 years. He had the same friends since college. He went to the same places, ate the same food, lived the same routine. James was comfortable. His life was predictable, safe, stable. But somewhere deep inside, he felt restless. He wanted to do something different, learn something new, take a risk. But every time the thought came, another voice followed. That is not who you are. You are not adventurous. You are not bold. You are the steady one, the reliable one, the one who does not make waves. And James believed it, because that is who he had been for as long as he could remember. When James was younger, he tried new things. He auditioned for a school play once. He froze on stage. People laughed. After that, he decided he was not the kind of person who performed. He tried joining a sports team. He was not good. He quit. He decided he was not athletic. He tried asking someone out. They said no. He decided he was not the kind of person people wanted to date. Every rejection, every failure, every uncomfortable moment became evidence. Evidence that he was a certain kind of person and not another kind. So he stopped trying. He stayed in his lane. He became who he thought he was supposed to be. But the truth was different. He did not discover who he was. He decided who he was. And then he spent the next 20 years living inside that decision. You do this too. You fail once and decide it defines you forever. You struggle and call it proof of who you are. One evening, James was scrolling through old photos on his phone. He found a picture from 15 years ago. He was at a beach with friends, smiling, relaxed. He looked free. James stared at the photo. He did not recognize that person. When did I stop being him, he thought. But the real question was harder. Was I ever really him? Or was I just pretending to be someone else before I decided to be this? James put his phone down. He felt heavy, not sad, just aware. Aware that he had built a life around an identity he created out of fear, out of avoidance, out of old decisions that no longer made sense. The next morning, James stood in front of his bathroom mirror. He did something he hadn't done in years. He looked himself in the eyes. Not quickly, not casually. He looked, and he asked a question out loud. Who are you? The first answer came fast. I am James. I work in accounting. I am quiet. I am predictable. I do not take risks. But then he asked again, who are you really? And this time, no answer came, because he did not know. He had been living as a character he created years ago, but he had no idea who he actually was underneath. That realization was terrifying, but also freeing. James made a decision, not a big one, just a test. He had always told himself he was not the kind of person who exercised, so he went for a run, just once, to see what happened. It was hard. His legs hurt. He wanted to stop, but he finished. And when he did, something small shifted. Not in his body, in his belief. Maybe I'm not the kind of person who doesn't exercise. Maybe I'm just someone who hasn't exercised. Yet.
The next day, he went again, then again. Not because he loved it, because he was testing the identity he had carried for so long. He had always told himself he was not creative, so he signed up for a photography class. He was terrible at first, but he kept going. He had always told himself he was not social, so he started saying yes to invitations he would normally decline. It felt awkward, uncomfortable, but he did it anyway. Every action was a test, a question. Is this really who I am, or is this just who I decided to be when I was afraid? Slowly, the answers started changing. James was not uncreative, he just had not created anything in years. He was not unsocial, he just had not put himself out there. He was not incapable, he just had not tried. The identity he carried was not the truth. It was a conclusion he made a long time ago and never revisited. And the moment he started testing it, it fell apart. Not painfully, quietly, like removing a coat that no longer fit. Underneath, there was a different person. Not someone new, someone who had always been there, waiting, ignored, buried under years of certainty about who he was not. Most people never take the mirror test. They never look themselves in the eyes and ask who they really are. They live their entire lives as the person they decided to be at 20, at 15, at whatever age they experienced something that made them conclude they were a certain way. And they carry that identity forever, even when it stops being true, even when it starts limiting them, even when it makes them miserable. Because changing your identity feels like losing yourself. But really, it is the opposite. It is finding yourself. James thought he knew who he was, but he only knew who he had decided to be, and there is a difference. You are not your past conclusions. You are not your old failures. You are not the story you told yourself when you were scared. You are what you choose to do today, right now, in this moment. If you feel like your life does not fit anymore, this is for you. You are not living the wrong life. You are living as the wrong person, a version of yourself that made sense once but does not anymore. And you can change that, not by discovering who you are, by deciding who you want to be, and then acting like that person until it becomes true. Identity is not fixed. It is flexible. It changes every time you make a different choice. You say you are not disciplined, then act disciplined once, just once, and see what happens. You say you are not brave, then do one brave thing and notice that the world does not end. Every action is a vote for who you are becoming, and you can start voting differently today. James still stands in front of the mirror sometimes, but now when he asks who he is, the answer is different. Not certain, but open. He is not the person he used to be, and he is not the person he will become. He is someone in between, someone choosing, someone testing, someone becoming. That is who you are, too. Not fixed, not finished, becoming. Take the mirror test. Look yourself in the eyes, ask the question, and then become the answer you want to see.